So let's go to the lead to cash. So before using the sales rep as my role, right? I'll start with creating a quotation. I'll search an item. I'll click estimated shipping, and after that, I convert the quotation to a quote. I convert the quote to an order. Sorry. And after that, it will give a notification to my warehouse manager. My warehouse manager can print the picking ticket, can do the pick, pack, and ship. Right after it has been shipped, it has a GL impact already. It has an email notification to my controller or AR. Right, I can now create my invoice to my customer. I can also review the aging. I can receive now the cash receipt of from my customer. So this is the lead to cash um, demo flow. If I go to the quote to cash demonstration, I'll start with the customer record. Right on the customer record, I, I will give an access to my customer portal, or I can also start with a new lead, right? A new lead using the online lead form, right? On the lead form, I input all my data as a customer, and then so from the lead online lead form, it has a lead routing that it will be followed based on the setup, right? It will be routed to a certain sales rep. And then from that lead, you can now create a quotation or an opportunity, and that quotation will be converted to a sales order. Right? From that sales order, that lead becomes now a customer. You can now grant an access, and that customer can view the order status and then can pay also online. In that case, once you finish already the sales order, the next thing you would do is the warehouse manager doing the shipment, doing the pick, pack, ship, and then the next goes to the AR analyst, creating an invoice, and then same also can review the aging and accept the payment. So there's two ways that you can do the quote to cash. You can start from the online lead form, or you can start from the entering the quotation. So on the assumption for this second scenario, it is assumed that it is still a lead, not yet a customer. Okay. In this first scenario, it is assumed that it is a repeat order from your customer. Okay. So let me do a live demonstration. Okay. Okay, let me go to, I will log in now as a sales rep. Okay. As you can see, as a sales rep, I have different view of my of my dashboard, right? My KPI, I am more concerned of my leads, right? How many leads do I have currently compared with previous? I am more concerned of my sales, right? I'm more concerned on my customers' cases so that I can view it. I have also my reminders for productivity. I have here my top 10 customers, right? I have navigation portal that relates to me as a sales for me to easily access those transaction records that I need. I have also Google Map integration for me to know where I should go for my today's appointment. As I scroll down, I can see here my weekly pipeline. What are the calls that I did that or the calls that I need to follow up, right? What are the open estimates that are pending? What are the tasks that I need to do, which is part of my CRM? I can also add some shortcuts here, or I can also see here some of the portals that needs to be part of my dashboard. As you can see here, I have online lead form. You can start from the online lead form depending on which scenario do you want to take into, or there's an error here. Or I can start with the quotation, right? So let me go to the quotation, right? Okay. So from the quotation, I can type in here the customer. So this our scenario is an existing customer, right? In this case, I will type in Smith Supplies. In NetSuite also, you can have different forms, right? I'm using the primary quote form, and we can also make use of a different forms, right? You can easily customize that one. And then I am under the one subsidiary US1, and there is also forecasting in my sales order. As you can see here, that I am in the process of proposing to Smith Supplies, and the probability of closing is 50%, right? And then in this case, I can add, right, search an item, right? Or I can add based on the list, right? I can add one or I can also add multiple. So it depends on my preference. For demo purposes, I'm going to add an item iPad, right? As you can see, I can immediately see the availability, and it defaults to the lead price because of that customer, and it has also a tax that set up. For this, it is 0. So I'll use the location USDC, and then nothing to add, but I'll explain here. On the tab also, you have information about if there's a promotion, if there is also a billing, the billing information, net 30, right? And then we have also the shipping, and then the gross profit relates to that item. And we have also here different activities that relates to CRM, tasks, phone calls, events, a user. And you can also do an approval here. It will route to your sales manager. So if you trigger that one. So for demo purposes, I will now save this one and print or save an email. Okay. So I will save this one, the quotation. And the next scenario that I will do, let's go back to the scenario. The next one is I need to convert the quotation to an order. Okay. Okay. So that's the next one that we'll do. We'll convert the quotation to an order. Okay. After it has been saved, you see that you can print now the quotation. But of course, this is for just for demo purposes. You can customize this and change the format. You can also have a different logo here. And then let's see from here. Okay, let's just close this tab and go here. And now it's time for me to do the sales order. I will now convert the quotation to a sales order. Or I can also do a cash sale. Automatically, there's no invoice. For that, there's no AR. So upon converting the quotation to sales order, I will just close this tab. Okay. So as you notice, all information now are now transferred from quotation to order. So it has a reference also of created from. I have different forms here. This is more intercompany transaction. Let me choose a primary sales order form. And if you notice, it will have a different format because I changed from primary intercompany, which was the default, to a primary sales order. And in NetSuite also, it has email notification, right? So I just received an email notification. I am notified that I have a quotation to quotation from Gil to Smith Supply. Okay. So from this sales order, if if I need to add something here, I can still add an item. And then on the right side, you can see here the summary. I can simply add the tax code in your case. Of course, if it's a Philippine, it's Singapore, so depending on the tax code here that you has been configured in the system already, or in Indonesia. And then I can have here the exchange rate. You have also here the audit workflow, and if there is an approval that you want to be triggered in. Okay, for this, I can save, nothing to add. I will now save the sales order. After saving the sales order, I need to trans log in to a different role. The role is a warehouse operation wherein the warehouse will now do pick, pack, ship to Smith Supplies. So what's the value proposition of the code to sales order? So no duplicates, right? You can also trigger approval procedure for that certain scenario. So you have real-time access to the data. So once saved, I will change my role to warehouse operation. No. Okay. So once, as you can see, every time you do a presentation, I always log in, jot down the SO numbers. The SO number is 18921, right? The reason behind, because we are doing live, right? And there are so many customization around already on my demo account. Sometimes, sometimes you just don't know. Sometimes you did a scripting and then it will break and then you couldn't find it, the sales order, and you will be tense in the middle of the demonstration. What you would do is use the global search. So let's go now to the warehouse operation manager. Okay. So when I go to the warehouse operation manager, as you can see, I have also different view of my dashboard, right? My navigation portrait relates to my role as a warehouse operator, right? I'm more concerned on the late ship orders. I'm more concerned on the orders to be shipped this week. No, I have different orders here. So I can do different ways to fulfill the order. I can do orders to fulfill from this reminders portlet, right? Or I can make use of the global search as long as I know the SO number. So that's why I'm saying if you do a demonstration, please, you know, take note of the SO number. So if I know the SO number, I will just type in here 18921, right? That's the SO number, and just click that one, and immediately I can click the fulfill button, right? Because you can see the fulfill button here. Or from this, coming from the reminders portlet, right? I can type in here the 18921. As you can see, it's no match. Why it's no match, right? So normally some of the partners, they always get this no match and they complain. So go to the filter, check your filter. It says here you would get it from the bulk fulfill from location. So do not untick that one, right? And then ignore item availability. So let's see if we can still eh, if we can see still see the 18121, right? It means if you couldn't see any notification, it means it's somewhere here, right? But it has a pre-tick on your tick box. So you can see it's here already, right? You can click again this SO number or the date, or you can click fulfill or mass fulfillment or bulk fulfillment, okay? But this comes from remember, my third tab comes from the global search, or this comes from the reminder. So you will land on the same page actually. So I will click the fulfillment now button. I have nothing to add here, right? But when you do a demo, of course, you need to explain the sub-tab, explain the summary. You can also explain the sticky notes, which is an add-on. Okay, so on the fulfillment window, I can see that it's created from the SO number. In Asia, there is shipping integration, right? But not, you can see that on the help center, the most updated one, the UPS, right? But other FedEx is not yet integrated, right? But for demo purposes, you can make use to and explain that one, or you can just leave the shipping carrier as blank. It depends on you, right? You can see from here the items, right? The on hand, the quantity. You can also do drop ship PO, inventory detail using in serialized or lot numbered item, right? You can also do landed costs. So there are different ways to do this. You can do pick, pack, ship, but I won't dive into pick, pack, ship different levels, I'll just go directly to the shift. And then same also, you have different forms on the fulfillment window. Okay, I'll just click save here, and automatically I will have again an email notification that it has been sent. So let's check on my email if I have an order notification I haven't shown earlier. Okay, I can see from here I was notified that I have a SO number here, right? So this can be configured the format if your prospect would ask you about that one. So it has an email notification for that one. So it has successfully confirmed, and then that's the status is shipped already. Okay. So this sticky notes is also one of the nice to have actually. You can add, specify what the level, and then you can add some notes, and the next one will see it as a priority, a not so priority or low priority. Okay. Okay. Then so the next level that I would do is I need to bill now my customer. So the next is I'll go to the controller, right? If I go back here to my visual flow, what I did was I already created a code, convert the code to an order. From order I fulfilled, and the next thing I'll create an invoice for that. So as a controller, I have different view of my dashboard again. My key performance indicator indicates more on the sales, more on the finance side. My payables, my receivables, my cost of goods sold, right? I have my financial ratio. My financial ratio, I can easily set up different KPI here, right? So you have KPI records. These are predefined, and some are has been customized, right? Those portlets, and I can easily see the trending and the changes of my financial ratio. Okay. On my left side are my reminders. I can see from here sales order to invoice. If we done the workflow, there's sales order to approve also. And then on my navigation portlet, it relates to my financials, to my period close and controller. So later I'll discuss that one. Let's just fulfill this order. Let's just create an invoice first. So I'll go to sales order to invoice. So it would give me a list of invoice here again, right? So it's either I will do it in that manner, or I can type in here again the invoice number, which was 18921. And then I'll just open to a next tab, right? So normally when you do a demonstration, if you notice, we are all partners here, community. So if you notice that it was, what do you call this? It was reading, not yet loading. It was loading. So the tips and tricks that we want to tell our pre-sales is once it's not yet loaded, try to speak, try to explain where you are right now. So try always ways to make use of the second tab, right? Like always go and right click, right? Always do the right click and open next new tab in order the loading will be on your third tab or fourth tab, not on the tab where you at, right? So that your prospect would not would not somehow notice that why is it's loading so low. It's because of course you're using a demo account. So it depends also of your what do you call this? It really still depends also of your connection that time. If you are doing a remote, demonstration, you're into a very high building, depending on your internet connection. There are a lot of reasons behind. So just do the next tab open. So I can do also masked invoicing, or I can just simply go to my SO number and click the next bill. Next bill, right? So once on your next billing, so you can see that it's pending bill. So I need to explain the primary information. It's created from the quotation or estimate 2593, and the sales service this one. So you need to explain this one because you're waiting it to be loading. Right? I don't know what allows. Normally it takes so quick. Okay. So okay, it's loading already. So one thing also you can show to them is the email notification while it's still loading, right? right? You can see from here that I am notified for the fulfillment for the Smith supplies. And then if I go back here, it's loaded already. So same also for the invoice. You can have custom form. Right? You can also have sales information here. You can start. You can have also an opportunity linked to the sales order. And for commission purposes, that's why also every deal it is tagged to a certain sales rep. You can also compute commission in NetSuite. So in this scenario, I can see an item here. If you notice, there's bill items, billable expense, billable time. So this is needed, and this sub is are needed for the project management or SRP. Okay, so you can have different currency here, and you can have exchange rate, and it has a different impact also to your GL. So once I save that one, automatically it has an impact to my GL account. So when I run my income statement, I could see now one GL account, AR account of 509, and I can drill down up to the first transaction of this scenario that we just created. Okay. So once this posted, the next thing I would do is I would go to the AR aging, right? I will show to my prospect that it's a real time, right? From the time they posted the invoice, you can see a 0 days um, past due for this invoice. And where can I see that one? So I can see that one from my dashboard, right? If you go to your dashboard, if you go to your dashboard, go to your navigation portlet, you have to look for the AR aging. So on the financial report, you can see here the customers and receivables. You have to click the AR aging here in order for you to see the invoices that has been created. So those are the past due of your customers. So there are a lot of reports also that you can see here. So I've noticed that it has already posted, right? And I can see also there's email notification to me. If I go here, it's open. I can simply accept payment here, but for demo purposes, I won't accept first. I'll just show to you the GL impact, right? So it has an AR and a sales, and it is for this customer, and this is for this subsidiary. I can do also slice and dicing. I can slice this based on department, class, and location, and run a report based on this um, criteria. Okay, so let me go back to the invoice, right? And then the next thing I would do is I will just go to the AR aging report. The AR aging report, I need to see the Smith supplies. So what I would do is I'll just simply type in Smith supplies here. And then you can see the current balance, open balance, 90 days, greater 90 days. So I can see that I have more than 509. Let's see to view the details of this report. It comprises, right, it comprises two invoices. So 30 days and 13 days negative past due, right? So because we just created this one. I can simply click that one, and it would bring me to this invoice again. So the next level that I would do is accept the payment. So there are different ways to accept payment. So once I click accept payment, it would bring me to the payment window. So on the AR account, you can, if you're the accountant, depending on your prospect, you can also bring into undeposited funds first so that you can do reconciliation, or you can simply go to the cash account here, right? So you have your currency. So different payment methods also that you can also explain here: cash, credit card, right, or through electronic fund transfer. Okay? And then on the apply, automatically if you start from the invoice, automatically it will be ticked to the invoice where you just click the accept payment, right? So I can simply save that one, right? And then also there's custom form, different form, and you can see here the balance, the pending, the consolidated balance, and this is for certain for customers meat supplies. Okay, it's deposited already. The reason behind because we tag into this cash account, and then if I go to the GL impact, right, it has a credit now to my um, accounts receivable account. And if I click this one, it goes to my AR register, right? I can see here the in and out of certain transaction that relates to AR account. Okay, so going back to my visual flow, right? We finished this one. We did the review aging and we received the payment. So that ends